those two videos sweet? Oh, how I am so blessed and thankful I get to work with people just like Christy and Rhonda. Together we can do so much more, and what a blessing to be strengthened and sharpened by one another as well. Because I can't do everything and they can't do everything, but together, using our gifts, times, and talents, we can do so much. So I'm so thankful, especially for them sharing their vulnerability in those videos. I am so blessed and honored to lead this organization. This was never part of my plan to run a nonprofit. It was never a dream, an idea, or a thought. But it obviously was part of God's plan. And this is where He's led me. And so much like the rest of you, our stories, our journey through life is a part of who we are, where we go, what we do. And just like that, my story, my beginning of my story has come to play such a significant part now in my life. Before, it was just garbage. Now, it is garbage and ashes and mess being made into something useful. And that makes me feel good. Because you see, I was born out of a very abusive relationship. I unfortunately knew abandonment and loneliness very well. I also was sexually abused as a child and had told no one. So this brokenness and this mess impacted my growing up, my teenage years, my young adult, and who I am today. But you see, in that time period, I also met Jesus. And I am so thankful for that. He was the light in the middle of my darkness. I was always fighting to be free, to live in this freedom, to be with Him. But there was all these parts of me that I couldn't understand why I did things that I did. Because meeting Jesus didn't wipe it away and make it all better. He just was a light in the middle of it all. And I am so thankful for that. And after high school, just getting older, a little wisdom, I grew up a lot. I got married. I had two beautiful children. We both started businesses and we lived our life. I had come to a point, around 10 years, a little more than 10 years ago, where I was looking for more. I felt I was surviving okay, but I wanted more. I knew there was more for me and by what Jesus says about me and our life. And I wanted to know what that was. What did He want from me? So that began a 3-year journey of really seeking Him and His plans. And bit by bit, teeny little steps, He began to lead me and show me in which way to go. And these steps did include me going back to this mess and processing through it. But this time, with His eyes, His presence, to heal deep wounds, to have understanding, to have more empathy, to grow as a person, to be more fully whole and alive. And that was part of His plan, to prepare me to do what I'm doing. That was the beginning of Him birthing such a deep passion for hurting women who needed love and support, especially hurting women who have been through such traumas that are so much more extreme and deeper than I can even fully understand. Traumas that there is no quick fix for, no cookie cutter answers. That there's long processes and steps and pieces to the puzzle to bring them to wholeness, to full life again. So during this process, though, I often questioned, why me? Am I making this up? Is this something just to make me feel good? Why me? I have no experience. I didn't even know a trafficking survivor, but I was continually assured that this is what I was supposed to do, one step at a time, trusting him, whatever he would put in front of me. And I actually constantly said, okay, I don't know what's next. And then all of a sudden, I'd have something else to do. It was a beautiful and difficult and lonely time again, because when you're leading and you're trying to do something different, it can feel lonely. So again, nothing that was new to me, but it was different. But it was also beautiful because I was trusting him and he was leading me. And I am just so thankful and honored that me, what, why me? Sorry. But you know what? He showed me little pieces of my past, of why me. He showed me beautiful pieces of how he could use some of that junk and use it for something good. And what an honor. What a blessing. Okay. So from the very beginning, with kind of this godly blinders on, not fully understanding what I was doing, really, the passion, the drive was, we need a home so these women can come here to find safety, to find healing, to find redemption and restoration. And hopefully, ultimately, through Jesus. That's it. That's all I knew. I knew nothing else. Didn't know a survivor. Didn't know how to provide it. Didn't know what was all needed. But it just seemed so obvious that they needed that connection. I just didn't know what that looked like. And then as we began to walk out this journey, about 3 years in, which is about 3 years ago, I found myself connected and working with 6 different survivors in surrounding communities. That was never part of the plan. They found us through social media, events, volunteers, and kept coming to me. And what did I have to offer? I don't have this home yet. I don't have these volunteers and all these things set up. What can I offer them? Except for relationship, support, love, kindness, presence. And that's what we did. I began to train other volunteers and tell them what I've learned and how to look at them and to view them, and really to just try to be their friend, because we aren't going to have all the answers. We aren't going to have all the resources, but at least we can just be there for them so they're not alone, so they have support, and maybe connect them with some resources that they need and help in ways that we can. And as a matter of fact, we connected with a few more that needed a whole lot more work and help than we were definitely even able to connect them with. And we sent them to homes throughout the country. And I'll talk about that a little bit more later. So it wasn't part of the plan, but I'm so thankful we got to do it, or that we are doing it. Sometimes I discount it because, oh, this is just us being there. It's not, what do we need an organization to do this? But as my husband aptly reminded me, don't discount the little things, because really, you know what? What's so profound is that what we're doing now is the foundation for everything else. Once we have that home, this is still it. This is the main thing that they need, is relationship, presence, connection, so that they can work through the trauma, so they can learn how to relate to others. It's an amazing thing, something so simple. It doesn't cost a lot of money, but it definitely costs you. The women that we are really able to work with right now are women that really have been surviving in other ways. They've somehow miraculously gotten away from this horrible life of darkness, but some just live off the government and survive another day. They were all in different places, but they all needed relationship, support, and consistency. So that's what we're able to do right now, and I'm so thankful for that. I want to explain to you when I talk about Redeem and Restore Center and the we, because the we is really you, me, all of us together. As you may have heard me say before, one person can't do this, just a couple people can't do this. It is a lot of people in surrounding communities throughout the state and even from other states using their time, talent, or treasure together with Redeem and Restore Center to provide all these services and needs to help walk alongside these women and offer the best and support and connection to resources to become fully human and to reclaim their lives and live in freedom. So when I talk about us, I mean all of us, not those who just work directly with the women. We are all important. Every task, working in the office, working at an event, giving regular support, praying regularly over Redeem and Restore Center's needs and over these women. We are all equally important, playing our part in this journey to walk alongside these women. So I just want to talk a little bit more about the current work that we have been doing and are doing. Obviously, the most exciting is being able to connect with these women one-on-one and as a group. But we have been working to build continuous relationships throughout various communities with various organizations and churches and individuals, providing presentations and trainings regularly. Our vision here has really come to clarity. It is about building a culture of loving, restoring, and supporting others in everything that we do, like the law enforcement blessing drive, like working with the women, like working in partnership with other organizations and ministries that are somewhat related to what we do, our volunteers. All of it is important to us. Another thing that we recently started was a podcast, and it's called Life Empowered. You can find it on our website and on Apple and Google and other places you find podcasts, but please check it out, called Life Empowered. It is not all about trafficking. There may be a few stories in there, because what it is I get to interview all sorts of different people, hearing their redeemed and restored stories, their inspiring, overcoming stories, the tools that they've utilized to become whole, the tools that they use to help others become whole. Just an exciting, empowering, and inspiring podcast. Twice a month that we release new stories. And it's all about that culture of building community, building a culture that loves, restores, and support others. Because you see, if we do this, if this is the culture we are, then we are better, each of us are better empowered to love, restore, and support the women that we seek to walk alongside. How beautiful is that? When we work on building these relationships with the women in whatever stage they're in, it is so important because the traumas they've experienced have broken them physically, emotionally, mentally, relationally, and spiritually. We need to come alongside them in all 5 of those areas, connect them with resources, and help them heal in tandem each one of those areas of their life. And of course, we invite Jesus in, but again, everything is up to them. We can only offer opportunities. We can only be present. We can only love them so much. But the hard work is on them. As I said earlier, we will provide recovery resources and services to women in this long-term restorative care home so that they can heal, reclaim their lives, and their identities and discover their God-given purpose. Isn't that exciting? That's what we, Redeem and Restore Center, get to be a part of. I am so thankful to have you here. We have over 100,000 in savings. We were hoping this year's fundraiser would double last year's fundraiser. Logically today, I wonder, because we have half the amount of people attending that we had attend last year. But you know what? God can provide all of it. God can work in other ways. We are only to do what we're able to do, and that's what we're doing. We are thinking and looking to do everything possible to make this home a reality, to provide all these services. But we need God to bring it all together, to make it beautiful, and to pour out his love and his justice and his mercy for these women, these beautiful, strong women. I want to tell you about another woman who you're going to hear in just a few minutes. She was the second survivor that I ever met. The first one was when I went to the first sheltered conference in Baltimore. I met one there who we invited back to speak. But this lady who you're going to hear shortly, April Bentley, who I am so thankful I get to call friend. She is going to speak to you in a minute, and you will be amazed. You will see her and wonder, how did she survive that life? How is she here today? Because she is such a gifted speaker and a gifted singer. Oh my goodness. But you know what I love the most about her? Is her love and solid foundation of Jesus, of her Father God. You know, she has struggled for so long. She has fought so hard, but it's because she had found Jesus that he met her, that she was fighting so hard. She was one of those women that we walked alongside it in the beginning to be consistently there for her, to remind her that she's not alone when she was in struggling circumstances, as we all go through. And now, just to begin to see her bloom brighter and brighter, I am so thankful that God has used her to bless my life and used us to be a blessing in her life, and I hope that will continue. So I welcome you to April Bentley, the CEO and founder of Rubies, an organization she now leads, which you'll hear about in just a few minutes. Thank you again for being here, and I hope you enjoy our other two speakers and the rest of this event. Have a fabulous day.